I am not the ultimate fisherman, but I'm getting there. As fish finder technology has progressed, we've reached an unprecedented level of detail when it comes to what's underneath the water. Being able to see and choose a specific target underneath the water's surface greatly increases your chance of fishing success. And while that logic applies to any body of water, you can't just go dropping live scope into your local stream. So we have alternatives. I don't know if this has a specific name. I'm just going to refer to it as snorkel fishing. The first time I came across it was Hunter Greenway, does this a lot on his channel. I'll link it in the cards above. So to try this method out, I've come out to Fay Branch, which is a shallow clearwater stream that runs through a good portion of Prattville, Alabama. And while majority of the stream is only ankle deep, scattered around between the gravel and the clay, there are deeper pools that form up. And the deepest one that I'm aware of is up on this northern end of the stream, where this beautiful swimming hole has been established. So the first thing I need to do is acclimate to this super cold water, and we're going to do a quick paddle around and see if there are any fish in this water to begin with. As soon as I poked my head under the water, besides a very confused turtle, I also saw a ton of minnows, all identical. So I decided that that was going to be my obvious first target. The setup today is going to be a 6-foot ultralight with a 1000 size spinning reel, 2-pound test line, and a Carolina rig of a small split shot and a size 18 hook. The method I'm using is keeping my rod and bait up out of the water while my head is underneath the surface looking for my target. Once I see the fish that I want, I just tip the rod down and lower the bait right in front of his face while moving it left and right to try and zigzag it down through the smaller fish. As expected, this swarm of minnows is just everybody's favorite Cianellis, the common creek chub. This aggressive fish is easily identified by that dark blotch at the base of its dorsal fin, and although it can be found in a variety of habitats, they tend to prefer these small headwater streams where there's not a whole lot of competitors. So knowing that I expected to find these today, and I honestly did not expect to find much else, but on that initial dive, I did notice that there's 2 other predator species that are also down in this small swimming hole. So my next target is this sunfish that's hiding right in the shadow of this rock. The second species we have today is the green sunfish, Lipome Cianellis. And this is a very colorful specimen, so I'm very pleased with this catch. The bits of blue on his face, the yellow on his fins, that great big old mouth that can easily be lipped. They tend to be abundant in the areas that they're found, and this spot is no different. It's just that this one I caught happens to be the biggest one. We'll let him go on back to his rock. So next I'm going to focus on the third species that I spotted, and this is the one that I was most surprised about, the bass that were hiding up underneath this tree. The bass hiding in the shadows seem to be a lot more hesitant, and while they sit around contemplating taking my bait, it ends up getting stolen by a sunfish or a chub. But I finally managed to find a small specimen that was wandering around in the shallows by himself out in the open, and we have finally hooked up. Now this one really surprised me. This is a largemouth bass. It's a small one, but it's still a largemouth bass. And although they can be found in almost all habitats in Alabama, they tend to be associated more with lakes, ponds, and reservoirs. But here we are in a swimming hole in a small stream. Creek chubs usually have the run of this place, but not only are they dealing with the big mouth of a green sunfish, they have actual largemouth bass competing with them in this hole now. Well, I gotta say, I approve of this snorkel fishing technique. This is pretty neat. I've come to this swimming hole before just to hang out during the heat of the summer, and I was aware that there were minnows swimming around in here. I had no idea that there was decent sized green sunfish as well as bass running around in this little pool, because as I said, it's extremely shallow downstream and upstream, but somehow these fish got here and they seem to be just doing great. There was also some sort of mystery fish that was crawling around on the bottom. I couldn't ever get a worm anywhere near him because all the creek chubs and the small green sunfish started to come out of the root system over there. So anytime my worm got anywhere near the mystery fish, it was gone. This is going to be a very useful technique in the future. I know of a couple spots right off the top of my head that I think this will just be perfect for. So please hit that subscribe button to make sure you don't miss out. And until then, y'all have a good one.